Welcome to Moving Panels One Shot. Let's have a nerdy little conversation, and we have reached another milestone. Ruby has finished Phase 3. It's actually been a little bit since she's finished Phase 3, but we've just now gotten around to getting this episode done. So Ruby is here to talk about her experience with Phase 3.
Hello!
All right, so let's get this going because there's quite a few movies in Phase 3. This was a bigger phase than the previous two.
Mm-hmm.
So to kick things off, we had Captain America Civil War, a.k.a. Avengers 2.5.
Yeah, because not all of the Avengers were in there.
Oh, yeah, it's close, though.
Yeah, and we got to meet a new Avenger, Black Panther.
Yep. So what were your thoughts of Captain America's Civil War, where they're fighting each other?
It was crazy, but I know this only happens in, like, kids' movies, but I thought they were just gonna make up, but no! They went their separate ways. Yeah.
Yeah, because it doesn't really come to a nice little resolution at the end.
Yay, let's make up. That's kids' movies. That's kids' movies.
Yeah. You know, you talked about seeing Black Panther. We also got introduced to Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
What'd you think of seeing Spider-Man?
Awesome. I love Spider-Man movies.
Anything else you remember or want to talk about with Civil War?
It's been a long time since I've watched Civil War. I don't really remember much.
All right. Well, you know, it was the one where it had Bucky in it. And
oh, yeah.
He's framed for
the murder of Black Panther's dad.
Yeah, King T'Chaka.
Forgot his name.
Yep. And then you got where all of the Avengers have to pick a side.
Government or free for all?
Well, not necessarily a free for all, but
it's still.
It was the idea. So you had the Sokovia Accords, which in the comic books is the Superhero Registration Act. But in the movie, the Sokovia Accords were pretty much saying that the Avengers, or superheroes in general, had to agree to work with the government. Like, they couldn't do anything on their own. They had to be told who they could rescue and what they could do.
Honestly, I'm on Cap's side.
Of not being controlled by the government?
Yeah, because, like, what if you see danger, but the government doesn't see danger?
And that was Cap's exact point, was who is the U.S. government to say, you know, what is and is not evil?
Because, like, someone mugging someone, still, that's evil. Like, anything that causes bullying or robbing someone is evil. Like, you should stop someone from doing that, but the government wouldn't let them. But Captain did not let that stop him.
Nope. So you're Team Cap on that one?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Any other thoughts on Civil War?
Not really, honestly.
Okay. Well, moving right along, we were then introduced to Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange!
What were your thoughts on Doctor Strange?
It was really cool.
Yeah, what was cool about it?
Everything. The magic. If I have, like, free time, I try to do some of the magic.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to do the portal thing.
Yeah, well, you gotta have a portal ring for that, though. Yeah.
I'm doing it wrong. I was doing it wrong.
And what about the part at the end when all of they're in, like, the Mirrorverse and all of the buildings are, like, folding in and they're jumping from building to building in all these different directions. One person's running above them.
Oh, yeah, that was weird. It was freaking me out a bit. I was like, wait, are they forwards? Are they back? Are they upside down? I was so confused. Because the law of gravity did not imply. It was weird.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
What'd you think of the end with Doctor Strange pretty much just putting him and Dormammu in a loop? So the way he beats the bad guy is just by
annoying him.
Yeah, annoying him.
Yeah, that was really fun. Like, he's going like, I'm not your prisoner. You're my prisoner. No matter how many times you kill me, I will stay here. Mama told me about her book, The Adventure Zone, and it kind of reminded me of that.
Oh, yeah?
Because, every time they get killed by the explosion, they go back like 90 seconds before the explosion.
Mm-hmm.
It reminded me of that.
Okay. Anything else about Doctor Strange that pointed out to you?
I was kind of sad when one of them died.
With the ancient one?
Yeah. I forgot her name.
Yeah, this is the ancient one.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought that's just her, nickname.
No, that was the name she goes by, the ancient one. So you were sad when she died?
Yeah, it was upsetting, but you get to see her again.
This is true. We'll get to that. Moving on, because I know you're probably going to have a lot to say about this one. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Yes! I love Guardians of the Galaxy, especially the ride.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
We went to Disney World a few weeks ago, and she got to ride the Guardians of the Galaxy ride.
You should have seen his face in the picture.
Yeah. All right, but let's get back to the movie. What were your thoughts of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, where Peter Quill finds out that he is part God?
We got to see Santa from Christmas Chronicles, which was his dad.
Yep.
And I like the I like the introduction. I don't know how to
Introduction.
say introduction to Mantis.
Yeah, we got to meet Mantis.
Now that Gamora has died, Mantis is my new favorite character in the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay. We, of course, have not yet reached the point where Gamora dies.
Yes, we...
No, we haven't.
Right.
Not Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, we haven't.
I know, but still, I get to say it.
Okay.
I have watched the movies, I get to say it.
All right. Anything else about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2?
I really liked Mantis' powers.
Yeah, the fact that she could,
mind read.
Yeah.
Or, mind control. And she'll go, she'll touch someone and say sleep. And they'll just, fall down on the floor and sleep.
Yeah. That
was cool and really funny.
What'd you think of Baby Groot? Because this was our first time seeing Baby Groot.
Oh, yeah. Not our first time.
Well, it was our first time, really, because at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy, Groot was just in a little pot.
Yeah.
Groot was just a little plant in a pot. This is the first time you see little Baby Groot running around.
We watched the I Am Groot things.
Yeah. But again, if we're going in the order of these phases, this was the first introduction of Baby Groot.
Okay, yeah. I really like this movie. I don't know why I like Guardians of the Galaxy movies so much. It's just so good.
Well, I mean, they're bright and colorful, and they've got the fun music.
And it's galaxy.
Yeah, you like space stuff. You got
astronomy.
all that. I do think you watched these a little out of order because we couldn't remember where the Spider-Man movies fit in. But next up officially was Spider-Man Homecoming. So this was our first Spider-Man movie in the MCU.
I can't believe he had a crush on this one girl whose dad was a villain.
Yep, the Vulture.
Yeah. I don't know why, but I was about to say Yellow Jacket. That's Ant-Man.
Yep. So any other thoughts about Spider-Man?
I don't know, really.
Okay. So no thoughts about... Is nothing you really remember from Spider-Man Homecoming that stuck out?
It was a long time ago, okay?
All right, so what about Thor Ragnarok?
Honestly, not my favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
Thor Ragnarok's one of my favorite.
Yeah. It was one of those that I can partly remember, except for the videos that Michael made me watch, and it's the part where it's like, you can't, whatever game you're playing, it won't work. You can't defeat me. But he can, and then it just pops up. And, Michael made me watch a bunch of videos about that, where it's, the kids going, you can have this, and Thor's the kids, and he's like, you can have this, and like the parents like, hey, and the parents is Hela, and then the giant lava monster is grandparents.
Yeah. What'd you think of, because this one we're introduced to Valkyrie.
Yeah, she's really funny, and she's one of Mama's favorites.
Yeah?
She is Mama's favorite.
Yeah. All right, so anything else about Thor Ragnarok? What'd you think of the villain? What'd you think of the Grandmaster?
Hela?
No, the Grandmaster. The guy who was controlling the gladiator games on Sakaar.
Oh, yeah, I thought you meant Hela.
No, the other villain. The one that had them trapped on the island, or the planet.
I know what you're talking about, because now I remember, like, the Team Derek stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was very violent.
Yeah.
Very violent.
Well, in a very kind of unusual way. You know, he had that little stick that would liquefy someone.
He'll, like, melt someone.
Yeah. All right, moving on
very
to... Moving on to Black Panther. What are your thoughts? What were your thoughts on Black Panther?
I really liked it. It was really cool.
Yeah. What were some of the scenes you liked? What were some of the moments you liked?
I liked when his sister came in action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shuri.
Yeah.
Her little gauntlets that shoot out the blasts.
Yeah, and like when she was the one who invented his suit.
I don't think she invented it, but she modifies it, yeah.
Yeah. And she was the one who helped that man from, like, bleeding constantly. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, the American agent. Or not,
yeah.
I don't guess he was American, but anything else from Black Panther?
Not really.
Okay. Then we had the big epic Avengers Infinity War.
Sad.
Why was it sad?
Everything.
So what were your feelings watching it?
Sad.
Well, okay, so explain a little bit more. Like,
okay. Well, a kid gets a bunch of kids. Just kids that will probably never come back unless Endgame happens. But like I thought it was like a temporary thing, but it would have lasted forever unless Endgame didn't happen.
Yeah.
It was really sad. And I mean, I don't like watching movies late because I know what's going to happen. Because, like, new movies came out. And, like, I was sad when Spider-Man was going away, but I was like, it's only going to be for 5 years.
Yeah, but again, when people were originally watching that, no one knew how long it was going to be.
Yeah. I liked how, like, you told me that, when you were watching it in the movies, when Nick Fury calls Captain Marvel, Mama goes, "Who's that?"
Yeah, a lot of people didn't know who that logo belonged to.
And I knew. I was freaking out in happiness.
So, again, even though you kind of already knew, what were your thoughts about seeing the death of Gamora?
I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't know that
before?
before?
Well, you told me, but...
Yeah.
You did tell me, but I was like... If you didn't tell me and I was watching Guardians of the Galaxy holiday thing, I would have kept asking you, where's Gamora?
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, it was sad, because I didn't know that's how she'll die.
Yeah.
And I hated how, to get the Soul Stone, it was girls who had to risk their lives to get a Soul Stone.
It's true.
2 of my favorite girls.
Yeah, although the other one doesn't happen till Endgame, but so Gamora, we get see the death of Gamora. We also saw, this is where you saw the death of Vision. What did you think about that moment? Where first off, Wanda has to kill him, and then he's brought back, and then Thanos kills him. Yeah.
It was really sad, and I didn't know it was gonna happen then, but since I watched WandaVision, I saw that part where it like glitches, and you see that part where like Vision is like his death version of him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he comes back to the alive version.
And you saw the hole in his forehead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to happen, but I didn't know when.
So what did you think about watching a movie in which, in essence, the bad guy wins at the end of the movie?
I've never watched a movie where the bad guy wins.
Yeah. So what were your thoughts? What were your feelings about seeing that he actually won? He snapped.
Anger,
and
sadness, frightened. I was scared.
And were you surprised that that's just how it ends? Like,
yeah, it's like, but then like 3 movies later.
Well, you say 3 movies later. For us, in real time, it was a whole year later. Like, we had to wait an entire year between Infinity War and Endgame. But in between that, next up, we had Ant-Man and the Wasp. What were your thoughts on Ant-Man and the Wasp?
I'm picturing parts in it.
Okay, what parts?
The part where it, you know how, he has Hope's mom's spirit inside of him.
Yeah.
And he keeps switching back and forth. That was hilarious.
Yeah, when he's being quote unquote possessed by Janet Van Dyne or Janet Pym, whichever name you want to say.
Yeah.
And he's talking to both of them like it's her.
Yeah, it was so funny. And then when he stopped being possessed, he's like, how did we get up here?
Mm-hmm.
It was really funny. I liked it.
Okay. Anything else from Ant-Man and the Wasp? Do you think about the villain, about Ghost, or?
At first, I was like, I didn't know who that was. I've never heard of Ghost. And I was like, wait, who's that? And I didn't know how to respond to Ghost. She was creepy, yet kind of cool.
Yeah.
I was kind of frightened by her backstory.
Yeah.
Like when the firefighters tried to pick her up and their hands just went through her. That's why they call her Ghost.
What'd you think about that end scene of Scott going into the quantum realm and then?
Oh yeah, because this happens during Infinity War.
Yep.
And then Hope. No.
Hank and Janet.
Yeah, Hank and Janet just dust, and he doesn't dust because, well, the whole, half of the universe dusted, so he would have had a chance of dusting, but he technically wasn't in the universe.
Yep. He was in the quantum realm at the time.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to I know another one of your favorites, and that's Captain Marvel. So a little bit of a prequel here, because we go back to the 90s, and we get the story of Captain Marvel.
Oh, and it explained why Nick Fury called her at the end of Infinity War.
Yeah.
Because she said, I'll let you use this, but only for emergencies.
Mm-hmm. And I think that was an emergency.
Yeah, that was definitely an emergency. The blip was huge. In Spider-Man Far From Home, they call it the blip.
Yeah, that's what it officially gets called. Going back to Captain Marvel, though, I know that the ending kind of surprised you a little bit.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that?
You mean the credit scene?
No. Where you find out that all of her team members are actually the villains, all of the Kree.
Oh yeah. I was for some reason I was thinking that her teammates were Thor's teammates.
No.
And I was like, oh yeah, that's what you're talking about. And yeah, that shocked me because I always thought they were the good guys in those dorms. Is that Skrulls? Skrulls. That those Skrulls were the bad guys, but some of them are, but they're mostly good guys.
Any other thoughts about Captain Marvel?
It was a really sweet, and I love the credit scene where you find out that the Nick Fury and his teammate, what's her name?
You're talking about Maria Hill?
Yes. And they turn out to be Skrulls.
Yeah, you find out that they're Skrulls.
And Nick Fury is in space?
Yeah, now you don't find that out until the end of Spider-Man Far From Home.
You don't?
Nope, that was in the closing credits of Far From Home.
It was?
It was.
Oh.
Alright, so then we got to Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on Avengers Endgame, where you got to see them fight back against Thanos, try to bring back all the people? It's been 5 years, which would actually make it 2023, just FYI.
Oh, yeah, but it wasn't 2023.
No, not at the time the movie came out, but it was 2023 in timeline.
Yeah, because it's weird how they set it up, because, like, if they did, like, they should have made it to where it goes to their timeline.
Well, but that wouldn't have made it 5 years later. But just go into the movie. So what did you think of, right off the bat, them killing Thanos?
Oh, yeah. I was like, wait. This was a very short movie.
Well, but then they've got to get the stones, the Infinity Stones, and so they do what is known as the time heist, where they time travel back to get all the stones. What were your thoughts about seeing those scenes?
I liked how we got to saw Gamora and the great what's her name?
The ancient one?
Yes.
Yeah, you had the Hulk or Bruce
get his soul slapped out.
Yeah. What did you think of Hulk now being merged with Bruce so that he can talk and has intelligence and he's just Hulk all the time?
I like how he got to saw his old self, and then he tries to do that, and he's like,
Yeah, when they went to the Battle of New York, and he had to act like the angry Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The angry Hulk just throws a car down and starts jumping on it, and he goes like tipping trash cans and like knocking down a few branches or so.
Yeah.
I'm like, roar.
What did you think of like Thor getting to see his mom?
That was sweet. I really liked it because his mom died, and that was the place that his mom died. The place and time.
Yep. And then he also got Mjolnir back.
Yeah.
Because he took Mjolnir from the past.
Shouldn't have done that.
Well, I mean, again, it all got returned.
I know.
So he got Mjolnir, because we didn't talk about Mjolnir getting destroyed in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
What about Tony getting to spend some time with his dad?
That was really sweet. I like that, how he got to like hug his. I think he got to hug his dad.
He hugged him.
Yeah, and that was really sweet because his dad died at the age of, when he was the age of 4.
No, he wasn't the age of 4. He was a teenager.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I forgot. I was thinking of that movie that Tony watched, that little film that Tony watches, and you see baby Tony coming in. And
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, when he was watching that video in like Iron Man 2 or Iron Man 3, I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah.
And then Captain America got to see Peggy, even though he couldn't interact with her.
Yeah, because then, she'll freak out, because he's frozen. I was about to say he's dead. He's frozen.
And then, of course, we talked about this earlier, the sacrifice of Black Widow in order for them to get the Soul Stone. Now, you talked about it having to be a girl. Now, Hawkeye was willing to do it. She stops Hawkeye from doing it.
But I know but still.
Yeah.
I know,
Well, she just knew Hawkeye had his family, and that if this was going to work, he would get his family back. and she didn't want to deny him of that.
She didn't really have a family.
No.
Besides her sister that she barely knows.
Yeah. But we didn't even know about all that yet. All right, so then you got they snap. Hulk is able to do the snap, and they're pretty sure it works because they get the phone call, but then the explosion happens and the battle is about to ensue. And what were your thoughts on the battle, the fight?
I liked the girl power.
Yeah, well, let's see. Before we get to that, though, what were your thoughts on the fact that we finally got to see Captain America could actually control Mjolnir? That he was worthy.
Yeah. That was cool.
And
that was really cool.
When Mjolnir flies to him, you get the part where Thor goes, "I knew it!"
Yeah. Because, in
Age of Ultron.
Yeah, Age of Ultron, you see Steve move Mjolnir.
Do you think he actually could have picked it up then? And he just chose not to?
Yeah.
You do?
So.
You do?
And he was like, yeah, I don't want to be king of Asgard.
Asgard?
Yeah, Asgard.
Well, he wouldn't have been king of Asgard. It just, again, would have shown that he was worthy enough to...
rule Asgard.
Well, no, it was just showing that he was worthy enough to wield Mjolnir. I mean, Vision then picks up Mjolnir and hands it to Thor right after that. And then when Captain America, you think that he's, it's just him versus all of that army, and then all of a sudden you hear, "Hey, Cap, on your left," and then the portals start to open.
Yeah, I liked how Falcon got to do that since Steve kept doing it to him.
Yeah.
He deserves it, honestly.
So how did you feel when you got to see all of the heroes then coming out of the...
I was like, there's got to be more Avengers than Thanos' crew, but there wasn't.
No, but they also had all of the soldiers from Wakanda that came and helped fight as well.
Still, Avengers.
Yeah.
They're part of the Avengers.
All right, so then we get the big battle. Everything's going, and like you said, we get the moment where Peter is trying to keep the gauntlet away from Thanos, and you think he's in trouble, and he gets rescued by essentially all of the main female superhero characters, including Pepper Potts showing up as rescue.
Yeah.
So what were your thoughts when you saw that scene?
Like almost all the girls in Marvel.
Yeah.
Almost, because 2 of them are dead.
Well, then also
Nebula.
And then you also got Captain Marvel, who then makes her big entrance by flying through the ship and blowing Thanos' ship up.
Yeah, but doesn't she have that little group with the girl? I remember she had the little thing where the group with the girls.
Well, she showed up and then she fought Thanos, and she was holding her own against Thanos all by herself, and then
of course, she has like the power of the sun.
And then they even had the moment where Scarlet Witch went one-on-one against Thanos.
Yeah, because again, power... Well, she has, like, the power of Mars. No one is more powerful than Captain Marvel.
All right, and then that all ends with Tony getting the stones.
Dying.
And then him doing the snap. I am Iron Man. He snaps and wipes away Thanos and all of his army.
But, like, the thing is, it burnt his arm.
Yeah. Well, you saw that do it to the Hulk, too. I mean, it injured the Hulk's arm.
Yeah, but at least the Hulk was, like, his skin was thick enough.
Yeah, he was strong enough to kind of stand it a little bit, but unfortunately it did kill Tony.
Yeah, because, like, human skin is, like, kind of thin.
Mm-hmm.
it has layers, but still it's thin. But like Hulk's skin is 15 layers. So it still burnt him. It like took 5 layers of skin off, but still he survived.
Yeah. So overall, what were your thoughts on Endgame?
Kind of, it was still sad. A lot of the Avenger movies are sad. A lot of Marvel movies in general are sad.
Okay. All right, and then Phase 3 officially ends with Spider-Man Far From Home.
I was not expecting Mysterio to be a bad guy.
Yeah, because, again, you don't know the comics. Yeah, in the comics, Mysterio is a villain. Everybody who knows the comics knew that. So it was kind of an interesting take. They were really going after the movie audience on this one to make them fall for Mysterio being the villain.
I felt every time, like, something is about to be given to a guy, I always feel like bad vibes coming from the person they're giving it to.
So when Peter was giving him the glasses,
I was like, wait, I'm feeling some bad vibes from this guy. That's always when you find out that the person, like, when Spider-Man gives it away to Mysterio, that's when you have this feeling, or you just find out that he's the bad guy.
Yeah. What were your thoughts on everyone finding out that Peter Parker is Spider-Man?
That was honestly not surprising, really, because everyone was gonna find out. Honestly, because Mama even said it. Peter Parker, or aka Spider-Man, is the worst kept secret ever.
Well, I don't know about that, but yeah, for people who know Peter Parker, it kind of starts to become obvious that he is Spider-Man. But I mean, the whole world wouldn't have known that.
Yeah, but still.
All right.
The worst kept secret.
So overall, out of all of these movies, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Mm-hmm.
Were there 11 of them?
And I finished those even shorter than Phase 2 for some reason.
Well, you had a little bit of extra time, but of those 11 movies, which one was your favorite?
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Okay. Which one was your least favorite?
I know you're gonna be upset, but it's gotta be Thor
Ragnarok?
Yeah, Ragnarok.
Okay. I mean, it's your opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And so next up, we are actually, before we get into Phase 4, which again, Ruby has seen some of Phase 4 already.
Like a lot.
But before we haven't seen any of the movies. Yeah, you've only seen the TV shows.
Like Shang-Chi, I saw half of that and then I fell asleep.
Yeah. So, but before we get into that, we're actually going to take a break from the MCU, and Ruby is going to go back and watch all of the old Spider-Man movies.
I've already watched one of them.
Yeah, we've already watched the first Tobey Maguire movie. She's still got, of course, the rest of that trilogy and then the Amazing Spider-Man. And we wanted her to have those since there's, again, kind of spoiling this a little bit for her, but there's a connection with them coming up in Phase 4. So we are going to take a break from that. I probably will even show her 1, if not 2, of the X-Men movies, just so she has that connection as well that will be coming up. But are you excited about that?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right. So thank you, Ruby, for joining me on your walk through the Marvel movies, the MCU. And again, like I said, we're expanding to a little bit outside the MCU with the Spider-Man movies. So are you excited?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Rate and review the show. Share it out there. And again, this is what we do it for. Get someone interested in these movies that we like to discuss and we like to have nerdy conversations about, and let them know that there's a podcast where we talk about it, and we talk about it like the nerds that we are. But for today, for Moving Panels, I'm Laramy Wells, and I'll see you on the other side of the page.
Bye.